Clay was one of the earliest building materials used by humans. Made from fine-grained soil, when wet, clay can be molded into various shapes. Heating the clay to high temperatures causes a process called sintering to occur. Clay particles begin to fuse, turning the clay into ceramics. The earliest evidence for ceramics dates as far back as 29,000 BC, and the first evidence of it being used to store water and food around 9 to 10,000 BC. To learn the art of making clay bottles, I visited Richard, a master potter at St. John's University. Richard created his pottery studio in 1980 after an apprenticeship under a 13th generation potter in Japan. Richard's apprentices took me out to the clay source, where we could start the process of preparing the clay.
This is the clay deposit. This deposit was found when Richard returned from Japan. It was at a road cut about 5 miles away. Richard, tested it, thought it would make a really high-quality clay for what he was interested in, wood-fired ceramics, and was able to bring about a 300-year supply of that clay back onto campus. And so in this deposit, one of the important minerals that comes out in the firing is ironstone. So we have a lot of this ironstone comes in through the clay. It's integrated in kind of microscopic particles as part of the clay. It's not an uncommon type of clay. In Minnesota, it's just usually buried too deeply to really access very easily, and so that's kind of the benefit in this area where it's been brought to the surface. Otherwise, if it's 100 feet deep, it's not really feasible for a potter to go after, but this close to the surface it is.
The next step was washing the clay and straining the heavy rocks and the light grass debris.
So we'll start by dumping these buckets in nice and slow, so you'll just kind of tip it in and slowly let the clay come out. Okay, so now we're gonna start sifting off all the organic material off the tops. Any of the organic, grasses, leaves, sticks or twigs, roots, we're gonna wanna take off and put into this bucket. So if you screen that again, there you go.
Then it was pumped through a set of screens, only allowing the finest grained clay soil through. Once pumped, it was ran through an evaporator that helped remove excess water. Lastly, the clay is ran through a machine which uses a vacuum to help remove any air trapped inside the clay. After that, the clay is moved to the storage room, where it's left to age for up to 7 years. Taking some pre-aged clay, the next step is wedging, which helps remove any remaining air from the clay and makes it ready to be tossed.
Kind of rotate the head. You're gonna kind of push down and just turn the whole thing just a little bit. So if I'm just slightly pressing, right? You can still see that the clay is starting to make these folds here, right? But it's not trapping any air because I'm continuously rotating the material like that, and then this clay is ready to be used. Okay.
Now it's time to learn how to turn it into a bottle.
Wedge that very nicely, good job. Very nice. And you want to get it kind of evened out like this into a nice ball. Okay, so let's try that first. You're flattening it out just a little bit like this, okay? Good. This is the only part that you do as what we call throwing, is you then put a little bit of moisture, take a very, very small moisture on your fingers and put that on the bat. Then you go and take this ball, you slap it down. Perfect. It's good. Well, first of all, you're going to be working. Your right leg is your power, okay? So that means you're taking and you're kicking forward. Okay, you're kicking forward like this. So you're going from toe to heel. Get both hands wet. Start kicking your wheel. You're using this part of the muscles in your hand to develop the centering. So like you're gonna be pressing down. You feel that pressure where the clay is moving up. Okay, then if it starts to drag on your hands, add a little bit more moisture, okay, like that.
Okay.
Then you take your right thumb and you press down.
Okay.
And you're going to be making a kind of an impression in the top of the clay, okay, like that, all right?
Okay.
And you can feel the clay being pushed out into your hands, okay? Sit up and look over the piece.
Okay.
Like you're really on top of it.
Okay.
Okay? Now you're kicking with your right, and you're bringing your index fingers, you're slowly pulling gently the wall upwards, okay? All righty. So now you've got a cylinder, okay? You've mastered that really well. Good, congratulations. You're gonna wanna go inside, kick with your right leg again, and you wanna go straight down, and you wanna push straight out to get that excess clay. Get a nice even wall going up about this much higher. Then we'll start to bring it in and make the bottle shape, okay? Okay, so then we're gonna bring this bottle up. See, now we're gonna bring this bottle up and narrow the wall just a little bit. There we go. And use that. Okay, good, good. Try that. Now you can pull a wall. Nice even wall, nice even lip. Now, it's kind of an aesthetic choice. Now, how much sake do you want to have in this? Nice and gently, sliding upwards, narrowing that neck. Good, good, perfect. Okay, that's good, nice. This is like old bed sheet, and it's double folded. So he kicks slowly, and then you can see how you can kind of wrap that around it to give it a nice finish. It'll make that lip have a flange to it, okay? So now you feel that, how you can tip that out a little bit?
Yeah.
Flanges out, perfect, right there. That's wonderful. You got a beautiful lip right there. Okay, let's kick it again. And then we'll bring this shoulder in so that it comes out. What does that look like? Boy, if you can't get a bottle better than that, there it is. We'll have you do the honors.
All right.
Do the honors and then make sure it's nice and tight. Yep, very good. Nice and perfectly. Slide that across there. Very good. Wonderful. That's it. But now,
Now that the piece is finished, it goes into a special room where it can slowly dry, preventing it from cracking.
just set it right on this board right here. Perfect.
St. John's is home to the largest wood-burning kiln in North America. Every other fall, they do a firing of the kiln. It takes 6 weeks to fill the kiln with over 12,000 pieces, which then burns for 10 straight days. And coming up later this fall, my ceramic bottle will be amongst them.